Okay, so we're here this morning with Patrice Drouin, the president of Just Ed, the organizing committee that puts on the Sprint Cup this weekend here in Quebec. A great weekend of racing. Patrice, give us your impressions of the weekend so far.
Well, I think for our first edition of the fifth sprint race, I think we succeeded in delivering a great event for the public and for the sports organization and fans. Athletes looks like they love, racing on that course. They had fun doing it, and it was hard, but looked like fun. And the overall result is amazing. It's above our expectations.
Excellent. Well, I can tell you, watching on television, the course looked very, very interesting, very television and user-friendly or viewer-friendly. So that was very exciting, and of course, a great finish for the Americans.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Well, it's on this side of the ocean at least.
Yeah, it's their home away from home, and vice versa for us when we're down there. So, many readers or viewers will not know much about Just Ev, but we know you have a rich history in producing World Cups and World Championships event in the mountain bike field. Give us a little history about Just Ev so people can learn more about the company.
Yeah, our company started in 1991, with mountain biking. So we developed an expertise in the production of that type of events, so mountain bike World Cups. We've been through the world with that kind of concept, with the UCI. So we organize race on the 5 continents, and Quebec was always our base, a playground at Mount Saint-Anne, for example, and Bromont. And it was successful, and we were doing a lot of mountain bike events every year, but it was always summertime. So we were looking for winter, like a counterpart of mountain biking, so we started to develop with FIS, the snowboard. So after today, in 2012, we are the oldest mountain bike organizers at UCI and the oldest snowboard organizer at FIS, with on both sports the biggest event on the circuit. So our relationship with FIS developed over the years, with snowboard, and as well as with UCI for the mountain bike. So when came the idea of looking at doing something else with FIS, cross-country sprints were, in my mind, a very good concept, especially the urban ones as a promotional event. And we used that relationship we had with FIS over 15, 16 years of World Cups snowboard to attract their interest, coming to Quebec and be confident that we could deliver this first ever North American urban sprint. And so this is how FIS trusted us, with no doubt that we could deliver it. And this is how we came on board of cross-country skiing with FIS.
So, how much did your experience with producing the mountain bike events, which, there's a lot of crossover between the two sports, a lot of skiers bike and a lot of bikers ski. Talk about how the experience you had with World Cups in mountain biking helped you to come up with this concept.
Well, mountain bike has very, very much similarities with cross-country skiing. I remember in the first years of mountain biking, in the early years, even before we organized mountain bike World Cups, I was doing the Canadian Championships and the Quebec provincial races, and my targets as participants were the national team cross-country guys. So they were all my friends, so I went to ask them, can you come up and do a little bit of promotion of mountain bike in your off-season and participate? And I developed, this concept of having good athletes racing for the promotion of the sport. Pierre Harvey were our ambassador, for mountain bike for many years. Even if he was Olympian with cross-country skiing and road cycling, he came to us and with promoting the sport and giving good words about how mountain bike is good for the health and training. So year after year we developed a mountain bike, and we had a link with the cross-country skiers. We designed courses that fit the guys of cross-country skiers, they told us, that they like that type of course, they don't like this one, and they like this one. Too technical was difficult for them, but a good mixture was good for cross-country guys. So when I thought about doing this cross-country race, I was absolutely comfortable for the technical side, it was for me natural. Yeah, we'll do it. It's not was not a big problem, an obstacle.
Right.
the opposite. We were very comfortable in delivering a course that would suit the athletes and the performance and give a good show. And using just the background of mountain bike courses we have, apply it to the cross-country ski courses. And apparently it worked because the athletes had fun racing.
Right in the city. Was this always the game plan?
Yes, it was a game plan. For the first approach we had was urban, sprint, World Cup. We never thought about anything else. We have plans for the future, but we thought that doing this first event in Quebec would open the door to the future. And with FIS, with the city, with the crowd, with the fans, with the sport, the industry, was to give a good show. And then after that, like what's next?
Yep.
That's a question today, what's next? We want more.
So talk a little bit about the snowmaking, because there was, of course, it was warmer temperatures, so challenging, and we know last winter was a bit tough for everybody, and this year was a little better. But talk a little bit about the snowmaking, because we heard big numbers, and that was a challenge, eh?
Yeah, snowmaking. Delivering that course was critical. Everything was based on snowmaking. So mechanical snow was our plan A. Always been. We do it 100% with artificial snow. So our plan was to build the course over 100 hours of snow time. So with 6 guns, 100 hours, we deliver at -5 and below about 10,000 cubic meters of snow. That was the need. So the calculation was all based on that. So every time we had -2 or 3, staff was in place, guns ready, and we made the snow at every single hour. Even if we had only 1 hour window at the night at 5 o'clock in the morning, we just started the guns to do that 1 hour. We maximized every hour, and even like 2 weeks before the event, we had not reached 15% of our total volume. So we were starting to think about plan B, C, D, E, F, G. We were far because we had to make everything possible to have this race going. Suddenly the weather came good, -5 and lower, and so we reorganized our guns and we produced in a matter of 6 days way more snow that we needed. But we had in reserve, 4,000 cubic meters of reserve in Quebec and 5,000 cubic meters in Mont Saint-Anne that we made just in case that we would need it. So everything changed, over the course of 6 days.
So you must have been over in Europe and seen the Dusseldorf. Were you in Milan as well?
Düsseldorf.
Okay, so you saw
I watched Milan and Stockholm on video.
Right.
And I looked at Düsseldorf live on site.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a very good thing that I went to Düsseldorf because first of all, to meet with the people.
Sure.
But also to see a real race, talking to the organizers, and also to confirm if we were on the right track or not. And this race confirmed that we were not on the right track at all, with the course design, because we were guided, a little bit for the first course design by sports people who really like to have the pure race, 1.6 kilometer with every component of a cross-country ski race. That was one scenario. When I went to Düsseldorf, I saw that they had an 800 meters course, 2 laps, very spectacular. And then I said, wow, wait a minute, we're not on the right direction. In Quebec, 1.6 kilometer was 1 lap. It's a show, yeah. But it's not as it is with two laps of 800 meters. So I came back to Quebec and we just put everything away, what we did, and we started from scratch. But I had in mind this location. My only question mark was, can we fit 800 meters of good track in that little square? That was the question mark, like a good 800 meters in that little square, we started with a few drawings, and then we made a drawing that is the one that we have, and we give it to Alex Harvey, and Louis Bouchard is his coach, and asked these guys, does it make sense? And so they knew the place by memory. They know exactly what we mean and what type of traverse we would use. So they came back to us and say, so far, it's a complete course. It does make sense. But then we invited FIS to come over. We presented, and then they were very amazed by the location. First of all, it was a no-brainer for the location.
Sure.
But then we needed to to go on and make the turns, like calculate the radius and everything. So we did, and then we established the course and we built exactly what we had promised. Was delivered when FIST arrived, and at least was exactly like the plan.
Were you happy with the overall result when you saw the fans coming out for the 2 days?
I am, and we are, everybody here, like my organization, the company Gestev, but also the organizing committee, which is composed of a board of administrators and 300 volunteers, plus the city leaders, the Quebec government leaders, the Park Canada leaders, and National Battle Commission leaders, and everybody are enthusiastic about what happened. They are very proud of it. We are. And we know that we can make the spectators' access to the course easier in the future by changing just a few things, a few turns a little bit spread out compared to the other way of the track. So we have a little adjustment to make it easier for the crowd. We had a plan of many bridges and everything, but at some point we needed to look at the budget also. Like it's sky is the limit when you do that type of event. But budget is also the limit.
So how important was it for you guys to have Alex and Pierre Harvey here?
No, it was kind of the best recipe ever. It came together. Like when we first talked to UCI, to FIS about this World Cup, Alex was not on the podium yet. He was progressing. We knew he had talents, and we knew that he would come anytime with a result. But we didn't do that event, that proposal to FIS based on Alex's results. We did it because we felt that it was a strategic event for Quebec, a natural event, and we could pull it out, good. I was convinced of that. But then, when we bidded, at the same time, Alex did a podium. And then FIS leaders said, wow, it's natural, we will fit out together, and I think we will have a good turnout. And people were very, very visionary and open-minded, because they had the right judgment of putting on this event here, allocating this event, the combination with Alex, Pierre, us as a producer.
So talk a little bit about the future, Patrice. I don't think the event's happening next year, is it? But it's planned.
So far, what we see on the calendar, and that's the way it is, we are on the calendar February 2016. So that's the next event that we have. It's not guaranteed for Quebec, but it's for North America, Canada, or USA on February 2016. So for the 15-16 season. So we are glad that we are there, and we will apply for it. I think results of this weekend speaks for themselves, of the potential here for that type of event. So we don't need to sell it anymore. It's done. The job is done.
Yes.
Now, can we have an event before that? We are just open, and FIS knows. Everybody knows that you have an event for us next week, next year. Not next week, we are busy. Next year, we take it.
Yeah.
2 years, we take it.
Yes.
3 years, we take it.
Yeah, the groundwork is done now. The hard part is done.
And it's been told by the ministers of provincial government, by the mayor of Quebec, ourselves, our board of management. Everybody had said, FIS, anytime.
Very good. So I know you're a mountain biker. Are you much of a cross-country skier?
I don't do a lot. I have a pair of skis, and I did last year started to ski. I did a backcountry skiing in Sweden.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, and I fell in love with backcountry skiing.
Sure.
That type of cross-country skiing, not alpine skis, but cross-country skis. So in the north of Sweden, went for 4 days, and I came back, and I just bought a kit of skating, and then I go often to Mount St. Anne. It's just at my door.
Absolutely. I know you've got a winter playground here, and
yes,
Quebec.
So I'm expecting this year. I think I had a little boost yesterday. I think my skis are waiting for me at home.
Absolutely.
When I get home.
Very good. Well, listen, Patrice, we want to thank you for spending time with us and telling us more about Gestev and the Sprint Cup. I think fans, here in North America and around the world are very impressed, and you guys did a bang-up job, and we want to wish you all the best in the future.
Thank you. It was a great opportunity for us to get involved in cross-country skiing for the first time, and we're there to continue.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci, Mamie.